Hi, I'm Corpus, a Senior Transition Specialist and real estate expert based here in the San Francisco Bay Area. If your parent had a stroke and now struggles to speak, read, or understand language, they may be living with something called aphasia. And if that word is new to you, don't worry, you're not alone. Today's episode is here to walk you through what aphasia actually is, how it affects day-to-day life, and what you can do as a loving adult child to support them through this new chapter. I'm also going to share a real-life story about a client I helped whose dad went through this and how we adapted their living situation with compassion and care. And don't forget, if you want more guidance like this, check out my podcast, Simplify Senior Transitions, available here on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Let's dive in. Let me tell you about Arturo and his daughter Vanessa. Arturo was a retired math teacher living in San Mateo County, and one morning he had a stroke. And while he survived, he came out of the hospital unable to express himself clearly. He knew what he wanted to say, but the words wouldn't come. He'd get frustrated, angry even, and Vanessa, who had always been close to her dad, felt like she was losing the connection they once had. At first, she thought he was tired or recovering slowly, but when speech therapy started, the doctor explained, "Your father has aphasia." Aphasia is a language disorder caused by damage to parts of the brain that control communication. It doesn't affect intelligence, but it does make it hard to speak or find words, understand spoken language, read or write, or follow conversations. It often happens after a stroke, but can also result from head injury or certain neurological diseases. Think of it this way: the brain's dictionary got scrambled, and your parent is trying to flip through the pages in the dark. Aphasia shows up in a few different ways. They speak in short or incomplete sentences. They substitute the wrong word, such as fork, instead of phone. They say things that don't make sense. They struggle to understand what others are saying. They avoid conversation altogether. If this is happening after a stroke, it's time to get a formal evaluation. Early diagnosis is key. Now, this is where my work as a senior transition specialist comes in. When someone develops aphasia, it can affect where they can live safely, what kind of support they need, how they interact with caregivers and staff. In Arturo's case, his home had stairs, minimal supervision, and no one nearby during the day. Vanessa was worried about falls and isolation, but she also didn't want to push him into a care facility before he was ready. So we had to find a middle ground that honored his dignity and kept him safe. Here are practical things families can do right now. 1, be patient with communication. Allow extra time for them to speak. Don't finish their sentences unless they ask. Just being present matters more than perfect words. 2, use visual cues. Point to objects. Use pictures or written words or gesture. Aphasia affects speech, not vision, so visual aids can be powerful. 3, simplify language. Use short, clear sentences. Ask yes/no questions instead of open-ended ones. Instead of "What do you want for dinner?" try "Do you want soup?" 4, involve speech therapists. A licensed speech language pathologist, SLP, can work wonders. They'll tailor exercises to help regain some function or find new ways to communicate. Ask their doctor for a referral if one hasn't been offered. 5, explore community resources. There are aphasia groups, stroke recovery centers, and even senior living communities with memory care or rehab wings that understand how to care for people with aphasia. You don't have to figure this out alone. So Vanessa and I eventually helped Arturo relocate to a senior apartment in a community that offered on-site speech therapy and social programming. At first he resisted, but once he was settled, he began to thrive. The routine helped. The staff were trained, and Vanessa could visit him often without worrying constantly. And here's the beautiful part. Even though Arturo couldn't say much, his smile said everything. Vanessa told me it feels like we finally have peace. Aphasia can be heartbreaking, but it doesn't have to mean the end of connection, safety, or dignity. With the right tools, the right living environment, and the right people in your corner, your parent can still have a fulfilling life. And you can stop feeling like you're navigating it all alone. If your family is facing a stroke recovery or communication challenges like this, I'm here to help. Visit www.simplifyseniortransitions.com to learn more about how I support families. Book a free consultation with me by using the Calendly link in the video description box below. DM me anytime on Instagram at SoldByDale, and don't forget my podcast, Simplify Senior Transitions. It explores topics like aphasia, dementia, caregiver burnout, senior housing options, and senior housing solutions every week. You can find it here on my channel or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for watching, and if this helped you, please like, comment, and share it with someone who needs it, and I'll see you on the next video.